Hello and welcome to the Vibing with Jallum podcast, and I have with me today Leo Ains. Introduce yourself, my
What's
friend, to
up?
people that already know you.
So my name is Leo Ains. I am a 17-year-old content creator who makes videos on YouTube boxing primarily, but I'm trying to dive into to some more stuff. But yeah, that's it really. Nothing more, nothing less.
Well, I've got a few questions to ask you actually on this podcast, just to kick it off just a little bit. Nothing too,
Perfect.
nothing too daring or anything, just a little
Now
bit.
go in. Honestly, ask me anything you please.
Out of all of the videos you've made, which was the funnest to make?
Honest. All right. I need to get my channel up because
Get some promotion and get some promotion, and
yeah,
you
no
might as
no
well while
no,
you're
I need
here.
because like I haven't actually I've been making videos for the past year, but I've only actually started making like the content I've wanted to like in the last 3 months. But
Hmm.
the funnest videos, I think it's either the I used well actually at first I'll tell you the one that was the least funnest to make, which was the one where I got the massive bottles of Prime.
The
That was
least.
that I mean it was a good video,
Yeah.
but imagine carrying one of these the whole way through London on the tube system.
Oh no. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
think
yeah,
about it actually.
yeah, that and I mean, and it's like it would have been worth it if someone saw me, took a picture of me, and was like, "Oh yeah, I'll put this on. I'll put this on
Yeah.
Twitter." But it was just I'd done it. The only people that looked at me was just old judgmental people. But yeah, that's that. The funnest is probably I made the biggest KSI hater drink Prime. Probably that one
With
with
Anthony
Anthony.
Taylor. With Anthony
Yeah,
Taylor, yeah, that was
that
really
one.
good.
Or the one I used maths to find the winner of KSI versus Jake Paul with Wade.
Yeah.
Probably.
That
I
was
enjoy.
really good. That was really good.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, no, I know. The thing I enjoyed that it was just like it was the first like with just the whole thing with Wade. That's just what made it fun. It's like and that was the video where I started editing in a new style as well,
Mm.
and it was like it was already good. Like the video didn't need Wade, but the fact that Wade was kind enough to hop on and then help me out. Yeah, no, that was amazing.
Oh, he's a top geezer, Wade, isn't he? Like, such a
Oh,
nice
he's
guy.
and the thing I'll tell you, like for what he's doing now for the Zone for Misfits. He's the humblest guy. He's like he there was no problems. He just said I can do this time. He was just so nice, helping me out because by that time I was only on 1,000 subscribers. And he was yeah, and he helped me out massively. So yeah, no,
Look at you now, you're on 5K now, aren't you? And going up,
I'm on
aren't you?
seven. I'm on
Seven now, eh?
7.5k. Yeah, I know.
It was only
Yeah, the
five the other
growth.
day. What's going on?
I know the growth's mad. Yeah, you got to thank YouTube Shorts and just the new content. Like, because if anyone's watching, like who wants to start making content, just just like you can talk about the algorithm. You can talk about making long videos. It's the only thing that matters is if you will enjoy the videos you make, and it's just the videos that I make are the videos that I will watch when I'm not trying to either learn or yeah
Hmm.
do something different.
That's one thing I've always said. That's why I'm so inconsistent. I'll only make one if I want to make one.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, so that's why I'm like doing stuff like this because I like talking to other people. But obviously, I started doing like when I first uploaded stuff, I was just playing like Skyrim and stuff, which I enjoy playing Skyrim. But sometimes I think playing a game, I'd rather just do that just to wind down on my own, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. Or if I'm gonna
100%.
put it if I'm gonna put it upload, I'd want it to be with other people. If that makes sense, like
Yeah.
I'd rather do it with that, so you can bounce off. But if you're kind of just doing self commentary, yeah, you can be entertaining, but you have to kind of put it on. If that
No,
makes sense.
100%. Honestly, it's quality over quantity. It's
Mm.
like if like at the end of the day, it's like you. But that's what I've always tried to. That's what the thing with YouTube is. Obviously, I love working now. I love working because this is my as much as I want it to become my job. This is my hobby, and it's like and I don't want it to get to a point where in a way I don't want to make videos because it's too stressful.
Yeah,
So obviously I'm on the grind now, but it's just I just enjoy it, man. I don't take anything too seriously, and that's like and it's what every content creator should do. Just do it when you have time. Don't stress about it because then it takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Because I'm just trying to like find my not my niche because I'm literally just doing whatever I like enjoy. So I'm still getting ready to release my who I think is the GOAT of UFC. That's coming out soon. I've got like just interviews and podcasts like this one. I'm just trying to like do stuff like that. I was even debating because where I live, there's like a little studio and you can rent it out for £20 an hour, and it's like kind of like a B-Tech Joe Rogan. So it's like
No, do that.
I've got to find someone to have on because it's like face to face, and then someone to do the IT in the background. Just I can
Yeah.
just like David, pull it up, Jamie, pull it up, pull up this.
No, no,
this
no. The thing is, for that, all you need is just a mate that you can have a cracking conversation with, and then from there, it's just like at the end of the day, it's like literally I'll say it's quality. It's like people want to see entertainment, and at the end of the day, it's like I think we've all had that moments when we're having a conversation with our friend, and we'll be like, yeah, this was a good conversation.
This is quality. This, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, and it's literally just that.
100%, 100%. Right, I'm gonna bring it back to a bit of YouTube boxing and like SCB sort of things. Obviously, I've said I've got a hit list, and obviously, I said me and you, like in the future, we could maybe run it back. If you want to have a fight or two before, that's fine. I'm not bothered. But obviously, that's more friendly because me and you have got to know each other a bit more now, and me and you were. It was all
Literally,
right
yeah.
before because we didn't really know each other that much, but now
No,
we're all
literally.
right. It's the same with social showdown. It's like I'm friends with him, so it's kind of friendly. Like a lot of people that
Yeah.
it's like if you really, I feel like if you really don't like someone, you either want to fight them or you just don't want anything to do with them. So it's weird when you're all right with people, but then you're boxing people because you're in the same space. It's really
Yeah, no,
weird.
literally.
But have you got a hit list? If you ever
It's,
want to
it's
like go that way?
it's been a bit of a sticky one because obviously when I started making videos, I was calling out people, not left, right, and centre, but I was saying a few names. I was trying to stir a few things, but I want to have things. I don't want like one thing is I always gonna put my content and like the videos that I make above everything, and I don't wanna create enemies, and
Hmm.
I don't want to like kind of annoy the community because at the end of the day it's like the FCB community and like everyone in the community like they like that's the reason why I'm getting better every day
Hmm.
because of the support. So it's one of those things where I wouldn't if it was to be with someone in the community, then I'd want it to be just chill,
Yeah.
have a scrap and then it's fine, go over it. But there's when in I put a tweet out and it's not serious. Well, it was serious, but it's like it's a sticky one. I said in 1 year's time I want to have 100,000 subscribers,
Hmm.
and a man that I've seen kind of similar weight to me, DTG.
Oh yeah.
DTG. I said in 1 year, like I've no I've no like feelings against the guy. It's nice, but I thought if like in a year's time, if I get that opportunity, that's the one guy. That's the one guy I think
Hmm.
it would make sense to be. Or Halal Ham.
Yeah, I was similar to that. I was thinking Kalal Ham because I think he's just really funny, and I used to watch him
Yeah,
quite a
no,
lot. I watch him a
it,
bit now, but like, it's just one of those things. Like, oh, just one of those fun things. You feel like if you ever got to do it, you would do it.
literally, yeah,
That's
no,
100%. Yeah,
that's it. Definitely.
but I want. Is there any dream collabs that you would want?
Like to make a video with.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm. Obviously, I think I'd love to have. Obviously, I've spoken to Fred. Fred talks fine.
Hmm.
I'd love one day when my channel's big enough, have an interview with him. Like Fox the G was cool. We've spoken. The collab will hopefully come someday soon. Uh, dream collab. Are we talking like it sounds stupid now, but for in the future?
However you want. It could be as big as they
Mm.
want. Like you could say Mr. Beast if you really wanted to.
Yeah. Nah, I think Logan Paul.
Mm.
That's like the thing. I think he is like Logan Paul and Nico. I think Logan Paul and Nico. They're the two greatest like content creators of the whole of YouTube. Because one thing about YouTube these days is that you see the big KSIs, you'll just see the big characters who have the millions of subscribers like PewDiePie, but they like they're big enough where they don't have to play to the algorithm anymore. Like all the
No.
smaller content creators. Like,
they've got their audience and their fans now,
yeah,
so it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
as I get what you mean.
Like they don't have to create a hook. They don't need to create a storyline. And it's that's great. Like people still watch their videos. Their videos are still entertaining. But like Nico and like Logan Paul, they're people who realistically at this point they don't need to make banging videos with proper good storylines, but they still are.
Hmm.
And I think that's one. Obviously, that's one thing I want to like continue being like as I go harder on YouTube and make more videos. So yeah, it's definitely those two guys. Like they know how to make a good video with a good storyline. So for video purposes, then. But then I'd love to have a conversation with KSI as well. That'd be
I
great.
think one of my goals would be. I'm not even a big football fan. I'm like I follow it when it's England, and that's kind of usually about it. But I would love to do a Sidemen charity match. That would be so funny.
That would be sick. That would be sick.
Just do a speed, just like get some airtime.
Literally. No, oh no. No, the thing is, it's like I don't even know what I'm saying, but I just think with football, I've never been good at football, but that's one of the only times I would ever think about
Yeah,
doing
I
it.
feel like with it, they're not all meant at football. Only a few of them are good at football. I think it's literally just for
Yeah,
the it's for
yeah,
the content of it, isn't it? That's what's fun
literally,
about it.
100%, 100%.
I'm gonna say a few names, and I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
I
Oh,
think you
yeah,
did this
okay,
for
okay,
me.
all
I'm
right.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure you did this
Yeah,
for me. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
How the tables have turned.
The tables have turned. Right. KSI.
Fat. I don't know. That's
Fat
just
Neek.
that's
Is that one word?
fat Neek.
Is that
Literally,
one
fat
word?
Neek.
Jake Paul.
Fucker. Yeah,
Logan
fucker.
Paul.
Talented.
Greg Paul.
Nonce.
Dead J.
Fat. That's that's like him and his brother get the same one. Fat.
Sidemen.
Crazy.
Beta Squad.
B-Tech. Nah, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. Crazy as well.
Tyson Fury.
Poke.
Derek Chisora.
Wham. He is so
Wham.
wham.
He is
Wham.
wham. He is wham.
Wham. He's wham. He's a wham guy.
And the final one. Well, actually, there's two ones. Anthony Joshua.
Pussy.
And last of
Pussy.
all, me, Jallum.
Oh no. Friend.
Oh, there you go.
Friend.
That's nice. I was expecting another fat again.
No. You're safe. You're safe.
Thank you. I've got a question for you. Are you very much into boxing?
Yeah, relatively. I mean,
Relatively.
yeah.
Do you think Tyson Fury should be fighting Derek Chisora?
I saw the clip of him talking. He was going up the top 10 heavyweights at the moment, and I think he was going up the list. And I agree with him in the sense that the Chisora fight made the most sense, but it's like I just don't get why the negotiation period with Anthony Joshua was so short. Why I don't get why like he's given Chisora this opportunity. I don't know. It's just Fury. He just goes back on his word so many times, man. It's so annoying. It's like the thing about him saying he's only fighting for money, then he's not. Then he just needs to. I just think I get he's the heavy. I think he's personally like one of the greatest boxers that's ever lived.
Yeah,
but,
I agree. He's definitely the best of the era. He'd beat everyone in this era.
Yeah, but then I think why ruin that? It's like it's at this point. Like I think he's reached his pinnacle. I feel like the second Wilder fight, that was his pinnacle, and I feel like now he doesn't need to be doing this. All he's doing is just ruining the beginning. I don't know if that makes sense, but he's ruined his journey to the top from doing this now. If that makes sense.
I get what you mean. I just think he would have garnered a lot more respect if he had fought Joe Joyce instead of Chisora.
No,
that's what I think.
Yeah. No.
And
No,
I
the thing
also
is,
think with AJ, it's weird with AJ because the negotiations were a bit like it was back and forth, but at the end of the day, it takes two men to sign the contract. So it's like really like, and I'm not sure it's with AJ. Yeah, he could fight Dillian White again, and it's good for Dillian White. I like Dillian White, and I hope he gets a good payday, and he could round off into the sunset if he wants after that. But it's one of those things where I just think it's a fight that they can't win because AJ's still dangerous. He's still like he still
no,
went.
definitely.
He really got beat by Usyk, who's the number
Mm,
two. So it's with AJ. Like AJ should only be fighting Wilder or Joyce or Fury right now, and it should be Chisora versus White, in my opinion.
yeah,
Rather,
no, no,
because they're both not over the hill, but they're on the older side, so it's
mm,
less dangerous for them both, if that makes sense. Because yeah, obviously I want Dillian White to get a payday. And same with Chisora because they're both like amazing, but it's just one of those things, isn't it? Like,
yeah, no, no. I get you. No, it's like the thing is, I like personally, I want Chisora to win tonight. I just think it's like obviously the underdog
yeah,
story, but it's just with like with Tyson like next it's there's no excitement like
no,
with like I like if he loses obviously if he loses like then I mean it's just going to be the most ironic story we've heard in a
yeah,
while. But then I mean if he wins then it's like cool because before there was the level of like mystery. We were like, okay, who's like is he retired? Is he not retired? But I just think he wanted that comeback story, but he took it too soon. If you know what I mean, it's like.
mm,
Yeah, it's just it annoys me personally because I mean it's just like Tyson Fury. Obviously, like his journey has been crazy, and like no one can say that like he's not one of the greatest. But yeah, it's just annoying. I can't
yeah.
I can't see him fighting anyone next. If he's not fighting them now, why is he gonna fight them next? If that makes sense.
I get what you mean. It's one of those things where it's the boxing politics and it's the egos, it's the clash of egos and stuff, and that's what makes it. Obviously, Chisora. No offense to Chisora, Chisora took the fight because it was the best fight in town, and it got put at his feet, and he was like, "Yes, please." Like,
Yeah, no,
I'll take that money and a title shot and main eventing it. Is it Tottenham? Is that where it is?
yeah,
Yeah,
Tottenham
Tottenham.
Stadium.
Will you
I
be
was I was
watching it? Do
actually
you think? You be
Oh
watching it?
yeah, no,
I'll be
I was
watching it.
definitely. I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm definitely watching it. I was supposed to go tonight, but
Mm.
I thought, and I just couldn't really be bothered. I mean, yeah.
I know one thing you're going to be present for though is Misfits in January. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, of course. It's called. My girlfriend bought me and her tickets. What's it called? Loving the life. I'm very excited.
It's great stuff. I was debating going, but with going down to SCB and stuff as well, it's just too much money
Mm,
at the moment with like everything. And I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Obviously, I'll watch it like on pay per view and stuff. But I wish I could be there, but
yeah.
and watch
Well,
Dildo Dennis get his face smashed in. But
no.
I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out and it's someone else anyway.
Oh
Like,
no, I think it's 75-25 that he's gonna pull out right now. I don't know. To be fair, the fact that he's showing up for the face
face
to
to face to
faces and
face, yeah.
yeah and promoting. I mean it's a good sign. I mean with Alex, I mean it was inevitable the amount he was promoting, just what he was doing. I mean you could tell that. I mean, obviously, no one expected him to pull out, but I mean, looking back now, then it was really evident. But if Dylan does pull out, I mean, it will be a shock, but it won't be a shock at the same time because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no. But well, I'm so excited.
I wish I was going, but obviously I'm happy that you're going. Are you gonna be going purely for just watching, or are you gonna try and get some content mixed in there as well?
Well, it depends. I feel like I'm obviously I'm gonna make a video of just going, but
Yeah.
it's just what ideas are there at this point because like I could. It's like I don't wanna be that guy who like takes ideas from like Nico, or does stuff like that. I just don't want to like be disrespectful. Like one thing like that I learned from going like when I went to that the Deji Mayweather press conference, even though it wasn't the main event, even though it wasn't like even though it was just like the press conference, I don't want to be that guy that ruins everything for everyone
Yeah,
and
I
like
get what you
just
mean.
just takes the content too far. It's like yeah, so and it's the thing is it's like I doing that thing. It's like I was so nervous before interviewing Anthony Taylor, like talking to him. I was literally, me and my mate were sitting in the seat, and I was literally like shaking. Like I thought, I don't know, like I don't know if I can do this. I was like, I'm just gonna pull out. I'm not gonna do it. But then, obviously, like once I get behind that camera, I become a different person, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I got it now. It's good. That's because it's where I belong. Like in front of a camera, that's my destiny. So I mean, I don't know. If someone starts recording me, then you never know. I'll probably jump in the ring. But like,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
from what I'm thinking now, I'm probably most likely just gonna watch. But I don't know.
Mm.
I'm not too sure.
I think you're correct. I think you are really good at this because you just literally appeared, then just took it by storm. I'm just there like, what's going on?
This is my plan. This is my plan. Look, 'cause I don't think a lot of people realize. The whole community of like I've been here. I've been in the shadows for like quite a while. Like I never wanted to say anything, but I've always been looking at like the back and forth. So I remember it's like I remember when Pat and Trey they were fighting for the first time. Obviously, I think it got cancelled, but I remember like they were sending me links to it like ages and ages ago, and it's like that's how I probably got invested. But it's like yeah, no, it's like I like it's the thing. This like the community, and this goes to any content creator as well. Like it's just you being tight with your community is the most important thing. And it's like I do like I feel like sometimes I have to refrain from saying my true opinion about topics because I feel like
Yeah.
I'd like everyone in the community, even the people like who I know they're not too fond of me. They probably they think I'm a bit of a clout chaser. But I think like even then I like everyone. I think like it's entertaining. I love just like I just love the energy. It's very like everyone has a like a goal on social media, and
Yeah.
like that's something like most like I think eight out of 10 people in the community they all have a platform where they want to do well on,
Mm.
and it's like I respect that so much. Everyone wants to do well, and it's just I don't want the community to come against me. That's like if it wasn't for the community, I wouldn't like have I wouldn't have I wouldn't have been doing well in the last month like I have. But yeah.
I definitely think like with it, the community is great, but there's a lot of people in it that are just really just judgmental. And there's a lot of squeakers, isn't there? Like there's a lot of squeakers. But
But they're the funniest.
in
They're
a
so
way,
funny.
yeah, when they're just screaming at you and you're just there just laughing, it is amazing. But at the same time, like with I think it's always important to just you can sugarcoat it a bit, but at least always be honest with it. Like if it's like one of those things where if I think someone's would beat someone else, I'm just gonna say it. You know what I mean? Like in that
Yeah,
sense, like
no.
as just a random. Or if I think like, in my opinion, KSI could maybe beat Jake, depending on how he looks after one or two more fights. It's just catch up. But some people don't like to hear
Yeah.
that. But it all depends like on how KSI is, because we know he was like, we know he's better than what he was, but we don't know by how much because
Yeah.
and it's like people would always argue, like KSI should have knocked them both out cold, but a lot of the time when you're running away, if you've never got in and sparred anyone or boxed anyone, if they're trying to run away from you, you can't exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
he could have cut the ring off a bit better and done a bit better, but
But
I'd be lying if
yeah.
I said I would do any better or anyone
No,
else in the community would do any better.
if you know you're fighting two people who you can easily beat, and it's like it's all about it's the confidence. Like KSI is one of them. He's one of the most. He has like skill wise, he's not one of the best, but character wise and confidence wise, he is. And this he's a very good judgment of character. He people will say things to him, and I feel like they don't really understand that he knows that better than anyone. And I
Yeah,
think with the whole thing about he should have cut down the ring. Like there was no like
there was no
in the
urgency
opening.
at the same time.
Yeah,
Like I feel like it was one of those things where, yeah, looking back, if he looked back, he probably thought, yeah, I could have done that. But
yeah.
sometimes it doesn't always click like that.
He's Yeah, I think he's one of those guys that performs well under pressure. And at the end of the day, it's like I'm like it as well. I think that's why I'm so good behind the camera. If I'm doing something which there isn't a lot of urgency, I won't do the greatest. But if there's some sort of like threat, or if there's some if like the lights are on me, then I'm gonna do 100 times better. And I think that's the whole thing with KSI. Like realistically, with the Swarms fight, the first opening seconds, all right, Swarms knew absolutely nothing. KSI's judge of character took him far and like kind of blurred his vision a bit, but still got him the win. And with Pineda, if you like, people just go straight to the bad points. But the first round, like against Pineda, KSI, he wasn't bad. He was literally he wasn't going for it. He was, because he had that sense of mystery behind Pineda. No, he didn't know how he was going to come out. But as the like leaks started showing, and he saw that Pineda wasn't as great as he thought, then he started slacking a bit. But it still wasn't bad. But it's just because it was the opponent he was faced with. If he's faced with someone who can box, who's going to come forward, then obviously his skills are going to be able to be shown a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you need a proper opposition to show truly what's in your tank, really. Because back at the time, that's what Logan was at the skill level he was at. Like, obviously, he probably would have been maybe a bit better, but he just windmills. But, like, the windmilling won in the fight. So, like,
It did.
at the end of the day, but it's just one of those things where, like, Logan was that person for him then. Is Jake going to be this person for him now? I personally think Tyron Woodley would be the person to bring it out of him, and then he can, walk away with that. But it's just seeing how it all plans out, really.
It's just that Tyron Woodley fight. I know everyone's crazy about the Tyron Woodley fight, but it's so much risk, but you don't like what's he gonna get from that? I feel Joe Fournier for me. I feel
that's someone I've also said. I believe with Tyron Woodley, it's just because Jake's fought him, and people want to know how his performance stacks against Jake. Obviously, it's different because they're different people with different styles. But if KSI went in there and annihilated Woodley, if it was like a 6-round fight, 8-round fight, and he annihilated him in 3 rounds, did it quicker than Jake, that was Jake a few months ago. Well, not a few months ago. Well, yeah, a fair few months ago. But that was what he was like before the Silver fight. So if he performs better than Jake did, then he's catching up to Jake, because Jake's only like obviously the Anderson Silver fight, Jake looked really good in that. He looked faster and all that, because he dropped a bit.
His combos in that fight were really good. That's one thing I noticed. He's become a one punch power fighter to a combo fighter, and obviously with his power combined with that, that's like that was really good.
It just depends. I think that's the reason why people are thinking Tyron Woodley, just to compare him to Jake. But Joe Fournier, it's like, how was he? He's undefeated though, isn't he? But he's not really fought the best people though, has he?
Yeah, yeah, I think on January 14th, this event, I really hope Slim and Tom Zanetti isn't co-main. I hope. Right. I don't think it will be, but if a good fight would either be Tyron Woodley versus Joe Fournier, co-main.
Winner fights.
Yeah. That. Or the thing is, people are going to be like, oh no, but I'm not like I could say, all right, what's cool. Let's just leave Tyron Woodley out of this whole occasion. Joe Fournier versus Paul Bamba for the co-main. That, like, Paul Bamba, he was trained. I think I'm pretty sure he was training. Yeah, he was training. Yeah. He was training for Tommy, but then he was training with Dylan Dennis as well. I think it might be someone else, but I'm sure someone said that. So yeah, obviously Paul Bamba, like, people have, like, I feel that would be quite a good fight for JJ, because obviously he was going to fight Tommy. He was like, obviously if he was going to fight Tommy, there's some credibility of him and Tommy being at a similar level. Obviously Tommy's going to fight Jake. I've Paul Bamba, like, no one's brought his name into the equation yet, and I just feel that's mad. I feel like Paul Bamba was called, if the thing about him and Dylan, because the thing is, it's annoying me. I feel like it's either true or false, yeah. But I think him and Dylan were training together. That it adds that storyline to it. Obviously, if KSI beats Dylan, but yeah, I just feel either Joe Fournier, Paul Bamba. Personally, I'm not a big fan of the Tyron Woodley fight.
No, I get that. It's something I would have liked to have seen Tyron Woodley versus Tommy Fury at least, maybe at
Mm,
least just see Tyron how these people that want to fight Jake stack up against Tyron, who
yeah,
took Jake the distance once, then got beat by him. Obviously,
yeah.
like, but with it, I feel like there's one sleeper that people are overlooking, which could be possible, and I'm praying it is. I said it in my video with Dylan Dennis versus KSI, and it is Nate Diaz is a free agent,
Oh yeah. Oh,
and he
Nate
wants to
Diaz.
get into boxing. That would
I don't want
implode. That would blow up pay-per-views if
it.
one
Would
of them fought
it?
him.
It would be good. I don't. I want. The thing is, I want. I don't want Nate Diaz to fight KSI. I love them both. Nate Diaz, he's a legend. KSI, he's the guy for the community. I don't think I don't want to see that fight. But Jake versus Nate, I feel like that would be quite a good
Mm.
fight. But it's like I was hearing you say that. It's just made me think in a way. I feel like at this point, Jake should stop trying to prove himself to fight different people. And the likes of Tommy Fury, who have pulled out a couple of times now, Fury has to start taking proper fights to prove that he can fight Jake Paul as well. Because as far as we know, we don't know what's really happened. But in my opinion, I'd say Tommy Fury's the one who's been delaying the Jake fight,
Yeah, 100%.
and I yeah, and I just think why should Jake be having to do things for Tommy? Tommy should start to be
Bending
doing
over
things for
backwards and breaking his back to get.
literally.
Well, allegedly he's making 2 million. Apparently, that's literally what
Oh,
he's getting. He doesn't deserve a quarter of that.
he does.
He
He
doesn't deserve
doesn't.
a quarter of that.
So annoying.
It's ridiculous.
It's unfair as well because realistically, they're like, oh, it just annoys me. I liked Tommy Fury before, and if you asked me a year
Yeah,
ago, I'd
yeah, I was
I'd
the
be like,
same.
even after the first pullout, I thought, all right, it's a fair reason. But after what's been going on with the whole US thing, I mean, it's like it is annoying. Some people can say it isn't Tommy's fault, but yeah, it's just annoying. I
I
don't.
believe it is. I believe it's massively to do with money and him
Yeah.
like
Oh,
not boycotting his events, but let's be real though. This is no disrespect to Rahman, but he's a pro and he still didn't fight Jake. The
mm,
pros don't seem to be fighting Jake.
yeah.
Like
No.
it seems
The,
to
the thing
be.
the thing is with the
It was weight, wasn't
Ruckman.
it? It was
Yeah,
weight, wasn't it?
it
Yeah.
was weight, and I think with that, I think Jake created the narrative. No, because like what I noticed personally is every time someone's pulled out of a fight with Jake hasn't been the one to address it kind of publicly first. I mean, he has in some ways, but it's always the other person. Jake was straight away before any other like news publication got hold of it. He was the first one who announced it, which makes me think he's the one who cancelled that fight.
Hmm.
I think obviously the weight thing, but I feel like Ratman. I think I'm pretty sure he did get to that weight on the day. He showed Jake I did get to this weight. I don't
I
get it,
think,
but
well, yeah,
yeah,
I
no.
think, I think they cancelled it a few days before, but then when he jumped on the scale, like on the day, it was like, yeah, like I want this weight.
Mm,
So it was really
yeah,
weird, yeah.
I mean, it's understandable. Like you can't. I don't think I don't think it's even men's like fault, but I just think it's a bit stupidity for both of them. Obviously, for Jake thinking that like a heavyweight fighter can get to that weight in that
Yeah,
amount of time, and for Ruttman thinking being the heavyweight fighter and thinking he can get to
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it was a bit of a mismatch personally in my opinion as well. But obviously
yeah.
we saw Ruckman. He isn't the greatest as well
No, I
after
do think
that.
he's definitely decent. He has got shit on him because what was Greg Hardy like 100 pounds heavier than him or something stupid.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. That was
Like
crazy.
it was a good scrap, but like Greg Hardy just proved that like he's actually like weirdly a good boxer.
Yeah, no,
for like for what for his weight as well. And what
it
was
just
he was dancing after, wasn't he? He was dancing after the
yeah.
fight.
So funny, so funny.
One of I think the you could have a Misfits card, and I personally think people are on an Easton Gibb at the moment. What's
Mm.
your opinion on that?
I made a tweet. It was I think it was quite a controversial tweet. I mean I said that with Gibb, I think KSI is the one that gave Gibb the initial opportunity. He was the one he put. If it wasn't for KSI, like, because the thing is, KSI Gibb was in KSI's friendship group in his area. It was all KSI who organised the first event. If KSI didn't put Gibb on those events at the beginning, he wouldn't be as big as he is now, and let alone getting the amount of money he's been getting now. And Gibb got paid something like 50k for social gloves, and he's got offered 250k for, I think it was to fight JJ or fight someone else. But yeah, it's like.
I think it was Temper. I believe it was Temper. I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To fight Temper. That is that is an easy fight, and I don't know. I think it's out of somewhat stubbornness, but like Gibb, like there's clips of him saying, "Oh, I don't fight for money."
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, but then why? Like, then why is money becoming an issue here? He should honestly. I don't think he should fight on Misfits events. It might like the only other like. Obviously, it's pro boxing. It's not like necessarily a crossover promotion, but it's MVP, Jake Paul's side, and there should be KSI's side. I feel the people who are trying to put on these external YouTube boxing events like Global Titans, they need to understand that realistically, all it's doing is giving YouTubers and influencers this stupid idea in that mind that they're worth that amount of money.
Too much money. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because like I said it, I said there should honestly, because I think there's been like the ICB rank like influencer rankings, but in my opinion, like it's a good idea, but they're quite confusing. I thought there should generally be a misfits ranking of all the influencer boxes, and as you go up the list, they should get paid more. And it doesn't matter if there's like Bryce Hall would be at the bottom of the list, and there's probably someone above him who not as many people know. But regardless, he shouldn't be getting paid for his social presence, because for one, it gives the people who actually work hard but don't have that big of a following a disadvantage. Because obviously,
it also rewards people for taking harder fights.
Literally, yeah, no,
that's literally what it is. Yeah.
And it's annoying because it's like with Bryce Hall, it's like I feel like Bryce Hall were like Dylan Dennis. Like obviously that like they'd get paid a lot because of their presence,
the following, yeah.
But they'll just get knocked. They'll just go out, get knocked out. They won't even try. And although you could say that they're taking the money to be knocked out, but they should at least train. It gives people an incentive to go out and train hard for the fights, because not only does that just make it all simpler when it comes down to the whole misfits events in the long run, because obviously they're setting up fights at the moment, but it also gives DAZN and Wasserman, it gives them more credibility, because they're like the fights that they're seeing, they aren't awful. Like that Chase Demore, like that guy, like people that it's not getting memed as much. Obviously there's always going to be memes, but not memed as much, and that's just the whole thing with like if you want to fight for money, that's fine. Fight for money, but work hard for
that money,
and put on a show, because I can agree, like influencers, what they're doing like for the sport, and what the number of eyes they're bringing is good, but like I don't know what I'm saying, but it's good, but they should
work for your
understand
money. Work for your money, basically.
That's literally it. In like work for your money, and it's not like boxing isn't a game. If you're not happy with that, go and start your own promotion.
A lot of these people make bank though, because they're all content creators. They make money from making videos. You don't have to get punched in the face. Like a lot of content creators feel, I need to get into this. You don't, unless you really just want to do it. Like people are feeling like obligated that they have to. They don't. If you're a content creator, you could like just keep making your content, pumping out your content. Say if you in a year or two, say if I don't really want, I like it, I like watching it, but you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. Bang out your content, build that up. Like this is all you need to do.
I think there's two types of like YouTube boxers. I think there's the KSIs who don't need to do it but want to do it because they enjoy the sport of boxing and they wanna prove a point. And then I think there's the like I'm not gonna say any names, but there's people who just do it primarily for money. Like they've realized they have a following. They think, if I just do boxing now, I can get paid a good amount of money. But it's realistically, I feel like I think in a year or two, the like money won't really be a problem anymore because Misfits will have the events before them. Obviously, they'll learn from each one, and then like people will get the gist of how much you will get paid. But it's events like Social Gloves and other events that have ruined it
Mm.
for a lot for Misfits now because people have this crazy idea of they should be getting paid a mil for a fight when realistically they're not even going to bring that back. Like,
No,
yeah,
definitely not. It's one of those things as well where this isn't a diss, this is a compliment on what we were on about before. People working for their money, but also for their fame. People didn't really know much about people like Soul Pepper. Soul Pepper
yeah,
comes in, takes it by storm. He's easily top 10 now. People didn't know who Soul
yeah,
Pepper was. He
and
was
he
like,
puts in the
he
work.
he puts in the work. Yeah, he's gone down
Yeah,
like 2 weight classes or something stupid. And
yeah,
like,
no, he's crazy.
and with it, like, what was he on? Showstar.
Show Showstar, yeah.
He was on like what? Not even the undercard. He was, what's it called?
Prelim. He was free. He
Prelim. He
was
was
on
a
a free
prelim
free,
for
free
free
show.
one.
It was
Yeah,
his fight was one of the ones that you didn't have to pay any money to watch, and
yeah.
he brought the best performance of the night. Which and that's the thing that there his hard work there has brought him here now, and that should be a testament to all the other YouTube boxers.
Exactly.
It doesn't like it. Money shouldn't matter for now. You're like the first fight, your first couple fights on Misfits. You need to take that risk to come back better, and it's all something out of confidence, and that's why it makes me like going back to your original point. That's why it makes me feel like Gibb, he isn't that confident because if like realistically with temper, it shouldn't with money, it shouldn't matter. Gibb can beat temper comfortably, but I don't think he feels that way.
I think it's the
I
height. It's
think
definitely
that
the height that he's gone on. No, I'm not keen on that.
the height and southpaw was
Mm.
called when obviously the first McBroom was the first southpaw fighter Gibb fought. He got dropped in the first round, and I just think that with that joint with the fact obviously Temper has a big height advantage on him. I don't think Gibb wants to take that, so he's saying money's the excuse, and yeah,
Yeah, I believe with it as well. I know I'm going back to Salt Pop here. People need to follow his lead on how he's conducted. Like he's done it well. He's
Mm.
fighting for money. Yeah, he's probably fighting for money, but he's also fighting like he's building himself up. He's still pumping out content and stuff. And he's fighting. He needs to fight someone that's high level, and that's not exactly his fault. No one wants to fight him that much. Him
Literally
versus Slim is
good
confirmed
fight.
apparently after this
Oh,
event.
confirmed. Yeah,
After
yeah,
this
oh
fight,
yeah,
if they both win, KSI literally said they're
yeah.
probably both going to be fighting. And yes, please, because
But I feel
they both need someone. Because obviously, like, yeah, Ryan Taylor was like, this sounds like an insult. This isn't. You know, how, like some like a cockroach that like are really durable, it's like nuclear blasts and shit. Like,
yeah,
Ryan
no,
Taylor's durable. Like he's very durable, and he had a
yeah,
weight
no,
advantage on Slim. So he was like, yeah, of course he's an hard guy. Don't get me wrong, but he's bigger than him
mm.
as well, so he was more durable and he could take those shots better. And Slim showed that his cardio was left a lot to be desired, and yet we've
Yeah,
not
no,
seen Salt Pappy like we've seen him against Halal Ham when he was too big, a lot bigger and slower with bigger gloves on, and he won every
yeah,
round. No discredit to Halal Ham, but it was just there's just levels to it. He
yeah,
destroyed Andy Warski in like 30 seconds or something less than that. Like I
yeah.
think it's the second fastest knockout beside that creator clash that Dad got one that Dad got.
Dad
But
versus
then
Salt Poppy.
I
Dad versus
could
Salt
I
Poppy.
just think Salt Pappy just cleans him out, to be honest. But
Yeah,
you know, but it's one of those things where he needs that step up. He needs those Slims. He needs those Kennys. He needs those Tempers. He needs those Gibbs. So him versus Slim, like basically, Gibb needs to decide now: is he fighting or is he not? He needs to fight someone. And basically, what we need is if you want one of these events, you have to fight the winner of Slim versus Salt Pape, and that is
yeah.
it. He might be saving
Okay.
himself for the Swingler too.
Swing. Yeah, no. I want
Like,
Jay Swingler. I think I love that guy. I feel like
mm,
I think his YouTube boxing journey is has been mad so far, and I want to see that rematch of Gibb.
I do. They think they could sell out. They could main event their own Misfits card.
Mm. They
100%.
with the right build up. With I feel Jay needs one more fight. I reckon
Yeah.
Gibb could take. I reckon that could be Gibb's next fight. If he wants another one, that's fine. He could fight like a temper.
I think Swingler does want to like have one or two other easier fights, get used to it again. Because I agree, everyone else has had years to do it, and he even said everyone else has had years to do this. He wants to get some easier fights. You could maybe even argue that like you could get, I don't know if the same weight class, you could get Jay Swingler versus Bryce Hall. That could be
Now,
okay. Jay Swindler.
yeah, I'm telling you now, that will never happen.
It would probably
Bryce
never
Hall.
happen, but it'd be good for Jay.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, yeah, no, it would.
you could get Ed Matthews, maybe. Ed Matthews would take a fight against
Oh
Jay.
yeah,
I
definitely.
don't, I don't, yeah,
Ed Matthews. I think what's called a good fight would be Salt Puppy versus Ed Matthews. I
maybe two
think obviously,
TikTokers.
yeah, good TikTokers. Ed Matthews got pulled quite a fast KO on a guy who was older and not to his level. Likewise to Salt Puppy in a way. So I
Yeah,
mean, it's I like that. That would be a good fight. I feel that would be quite competitive as well.
I just feel like Swindler one or two other fights, and then, but yeah, he needs one or two other fights before Gibb. But they could, I agree, they could either Gibbs either going to hold out and fight because the two fights that make sense. Yeah, Salt Pappy versus Gibb is good, but I think Gibb knows that Jay Swindler fight is the money fight for him, but the Slim fight is the fight
Yeah.
for him.
No.
So it's one of those things where which one is he wants a main event for one, and he wants to save the other one for an undercard for the KSI versus Jake. He
Yeah.
100% wants to do that.
I think main event Slim versus Gibb in somewhere like Saudi in
Saudi, yeah,
Dubai.
yeah,
That would be amazing. And I think just it would be poetic if in the end it was Jay and Gibb, because obviously they fought on the first KSI Logan
yeah.
event.
I think
That
they
would that
need to be. It's one of those things where they could have their own. You could build a pay per view around them, or you give them the bigger payday and put them under KSI versus Jake. It's like this. It's like
yeah
then Logan's on it. You could have like Logan versus someone, but it's like people saying
yeah
it's Logan versus Deji and then Jake versus KSI. But like I
yeah
don't think
no, no, no.
I don't think that should happen. But
That could ease that would sell though.
oh, it would
That would sell
sell.
a
But
lot.
like it's up to Gibb. Does he want to make a big fight on a bigger fight, or does he want to be a big fish in a smaller pond and make his own, like have his own Misfits event and headline it against like
Yeah.
Swingler or Slim? Because either way, like you're gonna get a belt out of it
Yeah.
because they both hold belts. But I personally believe it's just weird because I've been rooting for Salt Pappy over Slim. That's just my personal opinion because I've spoken to Salt Pappy on multiple occasions, so I
Yeah.
quite like him. And I feel like he deserves it. I feel like he's a sleeper agent. He's just in the background
Yeah.
waiting. He's there rubbing his
Definitely.
salt like that, and
Definitely.
he's just waiting to come in. But he needs that. Everyone's saying he's overhyped or something like that, but he needs that one person. He needs that in that top 8 bracket to fight, and it has to be Gibb, Kenny, Slim, or Temper. And those are
Or
the ones that
Deji.
make sense. Oh, Deji, maybe. He wants that fight, but I don't think Deji should take that. Certainly not.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But certainly, well, I feel like that's everything. Have you got any predictions for Misfits from the two that we've got from Slim and then the KSI one? And I think then we'll wrap it all up.
Oh, I think KSI. I reckon. I don't know. I don't see him having a early brutal knockout on Dylan Dennis. I think it'll be maybe a late TKO. For the Slim fight, I think he he um he beats Tom
Zanetti.
Zanetti
Zanetti, yeah.
easily, like very easily. I heard, so I can't remember who said it. I don't wanna bait anything out, but someone said that apparently they know someone who's trained with him, and Tom Zanetti can't take shots at all.
I've heard
I feel
that
like
as well, yeah.
I feel like he's quite a pretty boy. So I don't think obviously he's a tough man. He's quite entertaining from the press conference that he was in. He was like, he obviously he went for Jaden King. But then
Yeah.
no, I don't know. I don't think that'll get him far in the ring. But we never know.
We never know. It could surprise us. It could be an upset for all we know. But I
Literally.
personally think, is it 6 rounds, KSI versus Dennis? I think it is.
Probably, yeah. I don't think it'd be 8.
I'm gonna say it's fourth round, like stoppage or something. That's what I'm thinking. If KSI is gonna win that, I don't think he's gonna blow him out of the water straight away. I feel like he's gonna like size him up. I don't know how a clinch is gonna go with Dennis. I don't really know, but like,
Yeah. But
and also
you need
with
to
Slim.
remember.
With Slim, I think if it's 4 or 6 rounds, I don't know what it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be. I think he'll like. I think the first round Zanetti will have a little bit of success, but in the second round he'll get
Yeah,
complacent and then just get banged out. In my opinion.
yeah.
Go on, sorry, what were you
No,
saying?
yeah, I was gonna say, you need to remember KSI. He's at Shoot Fires. It's like it's a gym which is like it's primarily MMA. What's called. So I wouldn't be surprised if Dennis thinks he's gonna have a lot of success in the clinch, but I reckon JJ he's gonna surprise quite a few
Surprising.
people in
I
the
think he
clinch as
will
well. Yeah.
too. It's just one of those things where, like, how much will Dennis's jiu-jitsu training help him in a boxing fight?
Yeah. No,
That's
no.
just
I tell you now, like stream record this, save it. If JJ is obviously he is dominating Dennis, Dennis is gonna take him to the ground and try and choke him out. You know you just have a feeling. I
I
feel
think
that
he
is
could
gonna
do.
happen.
He might do an Oliveira and go on his back and put his legs up,
No, no, no. I
and
think
just
that's
sit there like
I,
that.
he's gonna he's gonna. I reckon Dennis will try and redeem himself from the bouncer situation,
The
and
bouncer situation.
he'll choke KSI out.
What's
That's what I think will
KSI's
happen.
bodyguard called?
Steve.
Steve will go in there and just choke
Yeah,
slam him.
no,
Yeah, he'll
mate,
choke slam through the table.
I would not want to be at the end of the Wrath of Steve. I'll tell you
No,
that
Big
now.
Steve. No, he would. Undertaker would be like that, and he would stroke slam straight through the announce table. Wade will be going, oh my god, straight through the announce table."
Shit.
100%. Well, thank you for coming on the Vibing with Jallum podcast. I'm sure we've been doing plenty of vibing. I really hope you're at the SCB event. Hopefully
I think
you will.
75% sure. I
Yeah,
will be.
hopefully, because me and a few other people are wanting to maybe do some like interviews and podcasts with each other, and I think we could make some like really good and fun content,
Great.
especially face to face. I think it's just so much better
100%.
than it when it is like when it's over the
That'd,
thing. But
that'd be so good. Yeah, no, I'm excited for that, man. I reckon you're gonna do well. You're gonna first round KO for you.
no, but
I'm betting.
I wish it was as easy as that. But Big Dan's not easy. Big Dan, no easy fights for me. But thank you for taking some time out of your day, mate. Really, really appreciate it.
Anytime, like anyone in the community. Obviously, what's it called? Oh, it weren't so long ago. I was interviewing you, but I'll find
Exactly.
so what's it called. Obviously, return the favor. So, yeah, no, obviously, honestly, I'll find it so fun. I love having conversations like this. So yeah, no, anytime, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, mate. And I'll catch you in a bit. See you later, guys.